¿Qué pasa, amigos? My name is Ash, and today I want to talk about the newest Apex Legends update, what changes were made, and most importantly, analyze why there hasn't been content added since the start of Season 1 and what it means for the game as a whole. Let's begin by quickly running through the adjustments the update brought with it, and then we will dive into what exactly is going on, why it's happening, and what it really means for the Battle Royale title. Quickly summarizing the update, we start with the major changes to two of the tanky legends, Caustic and Gibraltar. Both were given an additional passive skill granting them a 10% damage resistance to all damage sources. At least that was the plan before it was recently discovered that this supposed ability was bugged and was actually hurting the two legends more than it was helping. Gibraltar's gun shield was given a damage resistance boost from 50 to 75, while Caustic had his gas ability raised from 1 damage per hit to 4. Both also received other minor adjustments, but we will quickly move on to the weapon adjustments. All of these sniper rifles in-game were buffed, giving each one additional lower body damage and reduced weapon sway. The longbow saw a drastic buff with a fire rate increase, a magazine extension, among other adjustments. The Havoc also saw a few small buffs, including the likes of a range and magazine increase. The two biggest nerfs came to two of the better guns in the game, the Wingman and Spitfire, reducing each gun's magazine count at each level of rarity, as well as a damage nerf for the Spitfire. This was all among a plethora of other small changes that I won't bore you with. The real question is, what in the world is Respawn doing, and do they realize the effect they are having on their game's long-term future? Apex Legends released over 2.5 months ago now, and Season 1 began almost exactly a month ago as of this video, and we just now received the first major balancing and gameplay adjustment update since the game launched. Since the Apex Legends launch back in early February, it has seen extremely scarce content, adding only a rarely used energy rifle as well as a single new legend named Octane. Outside of this, we have seen a decent amount of intangible content added to the game in the form of the Season Pass and all of the cosmetics that came along with it. Unfortunately for Apex, their cosmetic system isn't the greatest, and that isn't necessarily their fault. A core part of the game are the legends, which is just basically a class system. Part of a class system, especially in this game, is having to be able to identify which class you are facing at a glance, so no one has an advantage over another by being able to hide the abilities they are bringing to the battlefield. This limits what they can do cosmetically for each character, making the battle pass, crafting materials, and anything else pertaining to character skins far less exciting. But for a battle royale game that has had a lifespan of nearly 3 months, the amount of content we have seen has been extremely underwhelming. The formula for battle royale games was laid out by Apex's predecessor, Fortnite. This scientific formula is as follows: create a solid base game, then flood the world with great content on a near weekly basis, then watch the money pour in. This is the key to success for a battle royale game, and right now we just aren't seeing it out of Apex Legends. The major flaw with the BR game type is they are inherently shallow and repetitive, but it is possible to overcome this shortcoming to a certain degree. Flooding the game with content keeps these types of games fresh and the experience unique. Adding new sections to the map, bringing in challenges and rewards to work towards, new guns to test and use, as well as new equipment diversifies each individual experience, taking the repetitive nature and somewhat curing it. It's truly the only way to bring longevity to this style of game, and if any specific title were to ignore this formula, it will inevitably die, no matter how good the core game is. The general gaming community can only play the same thing so many times over before it moves on to the next game. Call of Duty's Blackout is a great example of this. They neglected their BR mode and it simply faded away. They eventually added a big update full of new content, but by that time it was too late. People had moved on to Apex or found another game to fill its place. This is my concern for Apex, as they can only neglect the game for so long until it starts to fade away. Content needs to be added, and soon. We can only be teased with a new weapon or legend so many times before we stop taking the bait. It was announced we would be seeing a new weapon called the L-Star sometime soon, but that news came weeks ago, and here we are a month into Season 1 and the only new content we have seen is the legend Octane. And speaking of legends, it was possibly leaked that we would see another new legend in Season 1, as well as new equipment, but none of this content has been seen or even hinted at for weeks now. So what is going on with Apex Legends, and more importantly, Respawn? As a traditionally professional studio, I am more than confident that Respawn is well aware of the Battle Royale formula. In addition to that, they never announced Apex Legends before it launched. There was no hype or release date given to the public. So why was there not a massive backlog of content ready to be added to the game before they set it free? They had every opportunity to fully support this game and they just didn't take it. Many speculate it's because the team at Respawn is being spread too thin by the mass popularity Apex Legends has unexpectedly been receiving. This, in addition to the fact that Respawn has 2 new games in development, plus upkeep with Apex, has some thinking that this studio has been burnt out, and they are likely struggling to keep up with the grueling schedule and workload that is required for a studio to keep pace with the amount of projects they have to juggle. It also certainly doesn't help that Respawn is likely feeling pressure from EA and Disney to ship Jedi Fallen Order in time for the release of the final movie in the modern trilogy of Star Wars. Much like the rush product that was the 2015 iteration of Battlefront, Respawn may be under much of these same pressures, only with this situation they are juggling the fastest growing BR of all time. Oh, and a whole other title as well. With all of that being said, it still begs the question, why did they push Apex out so soon given the fact that Battle Royales need that steady flow of content? We may never know, and there is nothing that can be done about that now. Respawn has produced an amazing game, and it will truly be a shame if they just let it fade into the sunset like Call of Duty's Blackout. Content needs to flow, and soon, if this game is going to maintain its early success. At the end of the day, the issue and solution are very simple, yet the execution for most companies seems to be far more difficult than most believe it to be. Maybe we were spoiled by the unrelenting content Epic Games supplied to its Fortnite fanbase. Regardless of that, I am hoping that the tides begin to shift in the coming weeks. I don't have a ton of confidence that this trend will change anytime soon, but I still have full trust in Respawn as a company. Anyway, that will do it for this video. Make sure you hit like, click or tap that subscribe button to become the heart of this gaming channel, and be a part of the conversation in the comments below by telling everyone how you feel about the current state of Apex Legends. And for more gaming analysis, news, reviews, and opinions, stay here on Ash Heart. And as always, thanks for watching.